Hi everyone. So welcome to the Bright Beginnings Toastmasters Club meeting. I'm performing the role of Sa. I would like to remind you the rules of this meeting. The very first thing is this meeting is recorded, so be mindful of what you are speaking. And the second thing is please ensure your name is correctly displayed on the screen. You can put the role player name followed by your name. I'm giving you half a minute to rename yourself. It gets easy for T mode or general evaluator. So please rename your role players. Thank you. I can see some of them has done that. Okay. And next thing is please turn on your camera. It is easy to talk to you when your face is visible, right? It's an online meeting, so it's better we can see the smiling faces. And the last thing, please keep your phone on mute or the system from where you are joining if you are not speaking, and use the hand raise button if required. I would like to ask you some engagement thing. I would like to ask you what are the core values of Toastmaster? Can anyone raise their hand and tell me? I think Toastmaster Anshuman even reminded us about them in his last to last speech. There are four core values of Toastmasters. What are they? Oh, Aryan has raised his hand. Okay,
Yes,
Aryan, you can tell me the one of them.
I believe they are IRSC. So I is integrity, R is respect, S is service, and E is excellence, I believe.
Right. It's easy to remember them by RISE, RISE. But integrity comes first. So that way. Thank you, Aryan. So now I will pass the stage to presiding officer, Toastmaster Aryan.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Divya. I will take just a minute. All right, apologies, I'm having some lighting issues here today. Anyways, welcome everybody to meeting from Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club, and today we are having an interesting meeting with a guest speaker who is yet to join. We have GE Toastmaster Meenakshi, and we have an interesting session planned with a bunch of table topics from Toastmaster Nancy. Now, before we get started, I'll have a conversation with some of the guests here, and let's see what they're up to. Hi, to be Toastmaster Nalish.
Hi, Aaron.
What makes you join here today?
So, I have been joining this meeting around it's been, I think, 1 month. So, yeah, I feel quite interesting. And I have to improve my communication skills. And so that's the main reason, to engage with the people to get the uh, spot to speak. So, that's the main reason that I joined. Thank you.
Great, great. What about you, ex-Toastmaster Nidhi? Hi.
I
What
am,
makes
yeah, so
what
this
makes you
is
join here today? Any interesting goals you have with today's session?
not to, today. I would love to join Toastmaster on regular basis, but unfortunately, I really don't get time. So today at 10:30, I logged in to join an office meeting, ad hoc office meeting, but that got cancelled. And I saw you ping that meeting is going to start at 10:30. So I thought to join you people because last time also I joined this meeting a couple of months back, and I really enjoyed. Hearing you people. You all are seasoned speakers. And definitely, if we continue joining Toastmaster, confidence of public speaking is always there. And my purpose to attend meetings, that is, organize my thoughts in a better way and learning how to speak on extemporaries. So that brings me here to Toastmasters meeting.
Great, great. Thank you so much for joining. And with that, we'll begin with the meeting. So just to give you all a brief, the meeting will have three sessions. First is the prepared speeches section. We have one speech from Toastmaster Anshuman, and we have another speaker who is yet to join. Second, we have the table topics section, and the table topics will be led by Toastmaster Nancy. And after that, we have the evaluation section where we get feedback on what we have spoken during the meeting. The evaluation section will be led by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi. So I'll just hand over the stage to her to give a brief about her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. So, my role as a general evaluator will be to evaluate the whole meeting so that we meet our expectation, quality of meeting, everyone is able to learn, improve, and the evaluations go in a constructive manner. So, to make this meeting much more efficient in evaluation, I have my tag team, which comprises of 3 people, our timer. So let me quickly check who is our timer today. Could I know who's the timer for this meeting today?
I believe it's Anshuman.
Okay, Toastmaster Anshuman, are you here with us? Would you like to explain your role as a timer?
Okay, I was not aware that I'm the timer, but I'm glad to be the timer or not. But anyhow, timing is quite important in any sphere of life, be it workplace, be it Toastmasters, be it our day to day. So, my role here, my duty here as a Toastmaster will be to time our speeches, our table topics, and our evaluations to ensure that the meeting stays on course and all of us get a constraint of time to practice our speeches. And the timing limit is going to be 5 to 7 minutes for a typical Toastmaster speech, until it's icebreaker, which is 4 to 6 minute speech. Then we have the table topic, which is 2 to 3 minutes. And last but not the least, evaluations for 3 to 4 minutes. I look forward to sharing my timing report at the end of the speech, at the end of the meeting, rather. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Slide correction. The table topic section is you deliver a speech within 1 to 2 minutes. 2 minutes is the maximum timelines, though it can be extended to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's the table topic time limit. Next, we have our counter. I don't see this role assigned yet. Anybody who would like to pick this role? Let me quickly check.
I will I will do that. Nancy.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. Could you please explain the role, Toastmaster Nancy, as an our counter? What is your role?
Yeah, just a minute. So as a counter, I will be noting down the filler words and like like you know and I will be noting down the ahs and ums during the speech or table topics, and at the end of the our meeting I will share the report. Back to you.
All right, wonderful. So when you use lesser filler words in your speech, it will make your speech more impactful. So thank you, Toastmaster Nancy, for taking this role. Last but not the least, we have grammarian role. So for that, let me know if we have this role assigned yet. Okay, if we do not have...
Toastmaster Aryan, can you help out with the role?
Yeah, I'll take the grammarian role.
All right, Toastmaster Aryan, could you please let us know your role as grammarian?
Yes. So as grammarian, I will be responsible to essentially keep a check on everybody's speech, to check for grammatical errors, and to recommend any better words that could have been used. And I'm also responsible for giving you the word of the day. The word of the day today is perseverance. Perseverance is the skill of going and being resilient and continuing to challenge and going through hard times without giving up. I'll give you a description of the word in the chat now, and word of the day, everybody, is perseverance. Back to you, G.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan, and thank you to our tag team, which will help us in evaluations. And also, we have two prepared speeches today. For that, we have assigned evaluators. So, as our prepared speakers will deliver their speech, they will be evaluated by our evaluators. So, this is going to be our overall evaluation of the meeting. And thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aryan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. All right, everybody. Are we ready for a speech? Are we ready for a speech from an esteemed, experienced Toastmaster? Toastmaster Anshuman, are we ready for a speech?
Okay, you're giving me surprises. I thought we're not doing it or doing it. Can I be the second speaker? If there's a first speaker, if not, then I can go ahead.
I think you should go ahead.
You just give me 10 seconds.
Nancy is enjoying.
Before we call upon the speaker of the day, could we have his evaluator, please?
Yes. Who? Okay. I know the project, but I don't want to be the evaluator. Toastmaster Meenakshi, would you like to be the evaluator?
We have a guest Toastmaster, Abhijit Roy. Would you like to take the evaluation for Anshuman, Toastmaster Anshuman's speech? I am not sure if he's still connected. Toastmaster Abhijit Roy, are you connected with us? All right, that's no problem. I will take the evaluation for Toastmaster Anshuman Mishra. I'll quickly check with him the details of the speech. Meanwhile, you can back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
It could be level 1, project 2 for presentation mastery. The title is Stepping into the Future. Toastmaster Aryan, are you doing the honors?
Yes, so I'll first hand over the stage to Toastmaster Anshuman's evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi, to give you a brief about the evaluation objectives of the speech that Anshuman will be delivering today. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. So, Toastmaster Anshuman, a very amazing speaker who has delivered numerous fun, creative, as well as bringing in new ideas. Today, he'll be delivering his level 1 project 2 speech titled as Stepping Onto the Future. Since it's a very last minute speech, so I will be evaluating his speech on how prompt, how creative, and how fun and interesting it will be. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arvind.
Toastmaster Anshuman, step up to the future. Step up to the future, Toastmaster Anshuman. You're on mute.
When the past civilizations imagined how future is going to be, what did they imagine? They imagined flying cars, they imagined television, they imagined mobile phones, and they imagined people living a life very in a dystopian fashion. So let's checkmark today how many of the futuristic devices or futuristic world we have already realized. Recently, I got my virtual reality headset from one of the famous companies, Meta Quest 3. And when I entered into it, I realized, oh my God, I have stepped into the future. I could see a world different than mine, starting with practicing speeches. I had an audience right in front of me whom I could communicate, share, and take feedback. I delivered a podcast. There was a proper podcast studio which was recorded. And at the end, I got the entire analysis, proper analysis, my vocal variety, on my speech, on my grammar. And I was just mesmerized. I had to use multiple tools, multiple features to get that analysis. But right now, I could record it, see myself live, and get a proper feedback. It seemed surreal. Not just that, I tried learning Spanish from a native speaker in a virtual environment. I had a proper Spanish speaker right in front of me teaching me the nuances of Spanish speaking. And then I had to use Duolingo, log into a platform where I could find a native speaker and just try to practice here and there. But here I had a platform where I could practice a language speaking live. Last but not the least, what virtual reality is famous for is playing games. In playing games, I was a batsman in a cricket stadium live at the center, just feeling what I'm feeling, the stadium, people cheering for me, and I'm able to hit it. This was totally surreal and futuristic. And devices like Apple Vision Pro, which are 6 times the cost, but deliver more future realistic, hyper realistic environment, I can just imagine how folks must be feeling to experience and be immersed in a world which is so different than ours. That was future for me. Not just that, recently I read an article that China is already actively using flying cars. So people are flying cars in a Chinese city. And since it was written by a US national from New York Times, I'd like to believe that article. I haven't seen the YouTube videos of how that futuristic city looks like and how the cars are flying. But flying taxis through drones system looks to be a reality. Another hot topic, which is often talked about, and I think all of us are now tired of talking about, is artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence entering into robots is what iRobot imagined, is what Terminator imagined, is what many of the past movie Matrix, the Matrix imagined. It's a lot of past movies have already envisioned that future where artificial intelligence or machine learning will be a reality and humans will face a dystopia. We are right in the middle of it. We're right in the middle of that dystopia. And Elon Musk, one of the leaders of leading that dystopian world, mentioned in his famous, not so famous tweet, is it's better to be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. He said if you want to live a quality of life which has to be optimal, we shouldn't be too pessimistic about the future that robots will come and wipe us off, or all our jobs will go away, or all or our we'll just be doing menial tasks. So mention it's better to be optimistic and wrong to live our day-to-day life than pessimistic and right. So if I have to be optimistic about the future, further future, how will I be optimistic? First of all, I won't have to do the menial tasks which I require to do day to day. There will be multitudes of robots taking care of my day to day life. So I have to live my life to the best of my ability, attend hundreds of Toastmasters meetings, optimize my public speaking so much that I'm a great, further, better orator, then make new friends, do pursue new hobbies, pursue sports, pursue dancing, pursue learning new languages, experience other cultures, while the robots take care of the tasks which are not that much value add. Secondly, maybe the AI robotic world is a friend. Why do we imagine them to be evil like our, say, human evil counterparts? Maybe they are meant to be the ones which elevate us to the level of peace, that there's going to be no war. The robots will ensure that there's a better world order and there is absolute peace in the future world. So definitely, while we are middle of that futuristic world, let's take a step back. Let's look at the most optimistic case scenario while the default might be pessimistic, and look at what are the opportunities available for us to utilize that technology and just focus on our day-to-day pursuits. For example, say entrepreneurship, which say Toastmaster Aryan is pursuing, and I can see like Toastmaster Meenakshi and all of us have different pursuits which are aligned with the new technology. I look forward to entering this new dystopian world with all of us. I hope you are too. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aryan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Great speech, and yeah, it's really a concern. I saw a clip of Elon Musk saying that by 2029, the robots will be better than the best surgeons on Earth. It's really shocking how fast the future is advancing. Thank you so much for your speech. And now we move on to the table topics part of the meeting led by Toastmaster Nancy. And I'll hand it over to our table topic master, Toastmaster Nancy. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. So, purpose of table topic is to give a chance to every guest or members of our meeting to give impromptu speech for a duration of maximum 2 minutes. So, can we start with the table topics now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, who wants to go first? Meenakshi, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Okay. Toastmaster Meenakshi. The topic for you is, if you could live in any country for a year, where would you go? If you could live in any country for a year, where would you go? Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Any country that I would like to go is specifically Portugal. I always have loved to live around nature and not somewhere which is not too hot, not too cold. Though I love my country, India is one of the best places that you can stay in. But a part of me want to explore, want to travel, want to interact, get new ideas, and that's the country that I've believed I've been waiting to go to, because one, it's very easy. If you are someone like me, an entrepreneur who is earning an online income, there has to be an X amount in euros, and you can easily get 120 days job searching visa, though you don't have to look for a job since you're already earning. And plus, apart from that, I used to play a mobile game, like you might have seen this, some war game. It was called Myths of Moonrise, and I made a lot of friends. Fortunately, everyone happened to be from Portugal. People are really warm. They're somewhat like in ideology, like Indian, who would like to make friendly connections, be there for each other and help people. And that's the place I would love to visit, because firstly, it aligns with my values. And secondly, I think it's always a good idea to go and explore other countries, because we know we are best at what we are best at. But how would we know that there's yet more to learn? by interacting with people with different cultures, different language. And while I was searching this country, I also realized that these three languages, Spanish, French, and Portugal, are somewhat same. So I've been learning French for a really long time, and I realized that I don't have to learn Portuguese because it's somewhat similar. Just a little bit of uh, some grammar change, and yes, you learn the language already. So that's the country I would love to visit because I want to travel, inspire, and talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Minakshi, for letting us know to explore Portugal. And okay, who wants to go next? Toastmaster. Okay, to be Toastmaster Shitij, you want to go next? Toastmaster Shitij.
I can go.
Okay. To be Toastmaster Nalish, what is the best food you tried for the first time recently? What is the best food you tried for the first time recently? To be Toastmaster Nalish.
Okay, so the food that I tried recently, if I talk about it, so I tried pizza, and I have there are multiple friends that I do have. They used to tell that you can try this. This is the good thing, or this is the good food that you can try. So I'm the person, I don't try the things which I think that they are not healthy or they are not good if I imagine them in my mind. So I tried that, and it was quite good, but it was not up to the mark, but yeah, I can say it was good. So if I talk about foods and also what I think about myself, I don't go outside to have to have lunch or food. I always try to cook at my place, so that whatever I'm cooking, I don't know what ingredients I put into that, what the results will be there, and how the process has gone through. So yeah, this was the thing that I tried. Thank you.
Thank you to be Toastmaster Nalish for your thoughts. And okay, so next, who wants to go? Okay, Toastmaster Aryan. Toastmaster Aryan, the table topic for you is share a mistake at work that taught you something valuable. Share a mistake at work that taught you something valuable, Toastmaster Aryan.
A mistake at work that taught me something valuable. You see, I worked in a small company for about a year. It was my first job, and only a few months back did I stop working at that job. The biggest mistake I made there, I made so many times. I did not have any technical information, any technical knowledge about the field whatsoever. Everything that I learned by making mistakes. And when I made mistakes, people got angry. And when they came to me and they asked me, what's going on? What is wrong? This is wrong, this is wrong, that is wrong, everything is wrong. I did not know what to say. But what I learned was that mistakes are okay. Even people who have been doing this for years made worse mistakes than I was making. The problem was not mistakes. The problem was whether people thought that I could deal with the mistake or not. When I make a mistake and somebody comes to me and tells me this is not working and I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. What did I do? I don't even know. The problem is not that you made a mistake, it's that you don't even know how to solve it. And the most impactful learning to me was to be persevering and tell whoever it was, I will sort it out. I will figure it out. And toward the second half of my employment, I had multiple nights waking up till 5 in the morning because I promised I will figure it out today, don't you worry. And it took me way longer than I expected. People think that everybody who has a job, everybody who's CEO or something high up in the company has complete idea what is going on. But let me tell you, everybody is making mistakes. And what marks them out is not that they made a mistake, but that they didn't know how to fix it, that they couldn't persevere. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Okay, so next. Who wants to go next?
Distinguished Toastmaster Abhijit, you want to take up table
Toastmaster
topic?
Keith? Are you ready, Toastmaster Abhijit?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Toastmaster Abhijit, your topic is what is one skill every professional should have? What is one skill every professional should have? Over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Well, when it comes to my profession, where I need to interact with our client and customers a lot, and the role that I represent, that's business development and costing, risk management, and compliance. I need to deal with our customers who are either from India or from abroad. And the skills that mostly adds value to me is the negotiation skills. Because when I sit across any customer on a table to discuss matters of how to execute a project, there are many questions, there are many doubts, because the kind of projects that I'm talking about that needs millions and billions of investment. It's just not about person thinking of executing a project. It's not about an organization just about feeling that a project will be done in a span of 48 months, which is 3 years or 4 years. But it takes real time when it comes to executing a project which talks about billions of money that is being invested. Now, how it happens in my industry, we are not the only player who kind of can help our clients to execute anything. There are many such in the open market. But what is the X factor that I can produce in front of them makes or breaks any kind of contractual negotiations. So when it comes to a skill that not just me, but anybody should be able to adapt is negotiation. You go to a open market, vegetable market, and you find that the cost of a particular specific vegetable has increased because of any reasons, and you need to bring it down. You start discussing, you start negotiating. You discuss is with even your part salary part of your with your managers or with your HR team. That's all about negotiations. We can talk ample about this particular skill because this is a skill which cannot be built upon yourself. It's a skill which needs more of practice to work on when you start interacting with people. So skill, which is negotiations, is a very strong and powerful tool for any individual in any form of industry, professionally or personally, to talk to and then have the best flavor of it. I think that's I think it's time and pass it on to our table topic master, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. Now, our next. Who wants to go next? Toastmaster Anshuman, you want to go next?
Am I the only one left? If yes, then I guess.
Okay. Toastmaster Anshuman. So your topic is one habit you wish you could instantly develop. One habit you wish you could instantly develop, Toastmaster Anshuman.
The world rewards a robotic discipline. In the past, there were hunters and there were farmers. The hunters had the luxury of time. They could wake up, go out to hunt, come back, relax, chill, spend time with family, then go back, hunt, come back, chill with family. But then came the breed of farmers. What did farmers have to do? They had to toil throughout the day. They had to sow the seeds, ensure that there are no rodents or animals trying to kill that farm, and do that for 6 months straight, and then do it again and again and again. Slowly, our society started becoming society of the farmers, that we had all to be disciplined, go to our jobs, get work done, and close the day. But the hunters who had the desire to hunt were told to be disciplined, disciplined to be part of the farmer society, to be part of the wheel and get work done. So since I'm a farmer right now, a part of the wheel, I'd like to be disciplined to sow the seeds, get work done in a robotic fashion. I wake up at X time, have my to-do list, complete the to-do list, and get the work done. But if there's a habit I want to develop for the future, is to slowly get out of the farmer society and become a hunter, where I can have the luxury of time to hunt whenever I want to hunt, and then step back, chill, relax, and attend the Toastmaster meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster 9.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Okay, so any topic for me? Who wants to give?
Toastmaster Aryan.
Okay, I'll take a minute if anybody else has any good ideas. Toastmaster Meenakshi, Toastmaster Anshuman, any ideas? Table topic from Toastmaster Nancy.
Republic Day.
Is that the final topic?
It's political. It's not allowed.
I have a topic for Nancy.
Please go ahead.
Very short and sweet. The topic is yellow.
Yellow. So recently, yesterday, uh, so my son was talking about this color. He was asking me why Krishna always wear yellow color. Why all the pandits wear yellow color? So I told him this is associated to all the gods I have seen, Ramji, Krishna, and most of the goats they wear yellow. If you so today I'm also wearing yellow. Yellow gives warmth, and so this is majorly I would say. Uh, I don't know the significance of this color, but majorly I have seen yellow plays a role in religious activities a lot. So that's all I know about yellow color. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for giving us points that we can ponder upon, that why is it associated with all the religious activities? So thank you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you.
Should we have another round of table topics?
Yes, we can. We can quickly check with timer.
We do have the time.
Yeah, we do have the time.
Okay. So instead of table topics, we can make it something even more interesting. People can choose their own topic that they want to talk about
Okay.
and speak for 2 minutes, and we can do the same round.
Okay.
Will that be good?
Sure.
Quite interesting. Great idea. Toastmaster Aryan can start. Anyhow, is avoiding the team out part, so you should give 3 table topics today.
Hmm.
Your time starts now.
Who, me?
Yes, that's your topic.
Okay. All right, so I'll begin with a very interesting story that I read about recently. So I was reading a book about historical failures. What can we learn from history? Very often, all of the mistakes that we are yet to make in our life, of think about the years that you have left in your life. If you're going to live another 30 years, so many of the mistakes that you're going to make, somebody in the past has already made. So if we think about history, if we learn of the mistakes of others that they have already made, then we can prevent them, then we can stop them, and we can have a prevention of catastrophe. So it turns out that this story is about Hitler, a particularly political character, even though this story is completely factual. So what happens? In 1919, Germany loses the First World War, and Germany is put under a grossly insane amount of reparations, payments, accepting the fault for the war even though it was not theirs. And what happens? Germany, when 1929 happens, the Great Depression happens, has to suffer from a great amount of inflation. People have to take huge carts full of money to buy one loaf of bread. That much money for one loaf of bread. Eventually, there is a leader, a political leader who is emerging in the country. And that leader somehow is able to fix the whole economic problem, and that leader comes to power. And you know the leader is Hitler. But it turns out that the mistake that was made is that people were so devoted to Hitler, so believing that this man is destined to save our country, to bring Germany back to greatness, that they were willing to give up their own rights and to fall from being a democracy to being a dictatorship only because this man is supposed to save us. And I would argue that that was the one point when Germany had already lost the Second World War. It took another 15 years for that to come to pass. But once you give up your rights, that is my lesson from history this week. Back to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Wow, that's such a powerful lesson that we don't have to make mistakes ourselves. Every mistake that has been made in past, and the best learning is that you learn from others' mistake, but do not stop experimenting with your own life. So thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. Very insightful speech. Meanwhile, while people are delivering their speech, everyone should observe. How do you put together an impromptu speech from your own ideas? Because everything is there, everything is happening in your life. You just have to say it in a form of story so that it connects. While Toastmaster Aryan was talking, I was there with him. Like I have observed him reading that book, absorbing lessons. So let's put together a speech in similar manner. I'll make it really simple. We'll go in alphabetical order. Next, we have Toastmaster Abhijit Roy.
Yes, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Yeah, so we are doing another round of table topics. You can
Right.
deliver a speech on the topic that you think that you want to deliver a 2-minute speech on. So the topic is open to you.
Um, Well, I think I with the platform that we all are in, which talks about those masters, servant leadership is something which really catches my attention every single time that I get into a meeting. Now, what is leadership is something that I will not explain much, because I'm sure that my fellow Toastmasters in this meeting room are well versed about what it is all about and why it really takes a lot of uh, courage to take up this role of being a servant leader. Some of the examples which I would like to state here, some of the things which I have executed, wherein I never knew that all that I'm doing is servant leadership. Considering a last minute dropout from a meeting, be it an in person or an online meeting, and somebody with the role of vice president education or for that club calls me or probably messages me and asks me to take up the role to cover it up. And without any hesitation, without any second thought, I straight away say a yes, knowing the challenges that it would come across because of the time that particular time probably would have been dedicated to something else. These are some of the things which I have done it. And never did I realize that this is something which, in the form of servant leadership, which I'm going to be helping other people. In today's modern time, when we all call ourselves as leaders, there's always an element of taking as well. Because when you think of giving back to the community, there are people who think of taking it back. But for my case, it's very different. What I take back is not something monetized. What I take back is sheer joy, happiness, and satisfaction. So today, when I do this form of servant leadership, the kind of happiness, the satisfaction that I get is even beyond words. And I think this is one thing which each one of us should also carry. Rest, everything will fall in place. Thank you so much once again for being by my side and also listening to me on a topic which is servant leadership. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Wow, such a wonderful insight into our own world. Because when we say yes to an opportunity that comes abruptly, it's not that we are saying yes to an opportunity, we are saying yes to ourselves. That we believe in ourselves that we can handle this, no matter how difficult it is or how easy it is, since we have taken this responsibility, and that's when we give ourselves permission to lead. So, thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhijit Roy, for such a powerful speech. Next, we have on our list is Toastmaster Anshuman Mishra.
Right. So as all of us are either part of a company trying to deliver the objectives of the company or trying to build a company where we're trying to deliver the set the objectives of the company which will deliver X value and ensure that we'll do it in the fastest manner. So I realized that to deliver any of this, language is of critical importance of what communication we devise and how we drive it is important. For example, in corporate sphere, whenever one is not sure of what is to be finally delivered, we enter into a corporate speak mode where there's a lot of gibberish, there's a lot of jargon, there's a lot of going here and there, and very high probability that the person is not clear of what the deliverables are and what the final output should be. The person who's actually clear, who's aware of the strategy, who's able to connect the dots, is able to finally deliver on the business results, maybe crisp, maybe just talking about the final outcome and trying to close that uh, conversation with the right output. I read a LinkedIn post by one of the Mama Earth founders yesterday. He mentioned that whenever in his team somebody is going at length talking about he'll be doing this, he'll be doing that, he just tells them, "Can you summarize it for me in 2 lines?" Or in colloquial language, क्या आप हिंदी में मुझे समझा सकते हैं? Because what he mentioned was that any kind of elaborate language which is not purposeful is mostly not leading to a conclusion. I'm assuming similar principle aligns to the world of starting your own venture, where being clear about the objectives, clear about the business impact, clear about what we require, will require a summarized, clear communication where we are telling the world what our purpose is, what are we driving. And as soon as we get into elaborate lens of explaining, summarizing, or just not coming to the point, very high probability we are not clear in our minds and hearts of what we require. So, in any of the pursuits, I, first of all, am expecting of myself to be pretty clear of when I'm communicating what is that I'm trying to communicate in 2 lines, which is related to the business impact, what I'm trying to drive rather than the beating around the bush. And I'll encourage anyone and everyone who's trying to drive a business goal through their own ventures to be clear about the purpose. As Simon Sinek says, start with the why of why we are doing it, what we are doing day to day to deliver against the value we are trying to drive. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. Very, very thoughtful speech that why we doing what we are doing, that makes all the difference. We can try to deliver so amazing speech and make it full of jargons, but if our audience doesn't understand what's the why, what's the purpose of that speech. So thank you very much for giving us this thought that we can take home today. Moving on, next we have soon to be Toastmaster Nalini Singh.
Yes, thank you, Minashi. So I will speak about education is important for everyone. So if I talk about earlier days, let's take an example that 20 years back. So we used to live in villages, and each and everyone, like if you are going like one side or second side, like there will be multiple fights are going on because they were not educated. In each and every houses there was some kind of problems were going on. There are multiple things that were stopping to the community going forward, going going to the next level. Previous days, if you are asking any father or mother that your son is selected for this or he's going to earn this much money, and but he has to move out to the city or to another place, they used to say that no, this is not going to happen, he will be living with me. Even everybody is hungry, even nobody has their own clothes or something like that, but yes. So since the education started taking the place, each and individual as of now, they like I think even if I'm going to any MNC or like at any company, I have seen like there are 2 or 3 persons always will be there, they are from rural area, and that is also helping to their community when they are going back. So as of now, instead of fighting, they are thinking that oh my god, if I'm wasting this much time in this, other than that, I should invest this time to working somewhere or to do something better, so that each and individual will be benefited with that, and the chaos will be like decided and will grow, will both grow. So as of now, for me, like if everybody is educated, they do have understanding that what's the correct thing, what's the wrong thing, that is going to make the world better. Because if we are doing something, yes, it is impacting personally your life, and it is impacting your family, it is impacting your county, it is impacting your district, it is impacting your nation as well. So education is really important. I think everybody should go for education, and everybody should praise someone to get at least a basic education. Thank you, Minashi.
Nice. Thank you, our guest Nanish Singh. Such a beautiful and impactful message that indeed we need to know today, that education in today's time is not about degrees and which college you go to. It's actually educating yourself that what's important in life. So thank you very much for reminding us this beautiful message. Moving on, we have last but not least our Toastmaster Nancy Wadhwa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. So, I want to speak on a topic which is what makes you a great leader. So, talking on this topic, I can recall of my reporting manager. So, I met for the first time when I joined my current organization. I was reporting to him, and he was at highest level in our organization. There were many people who joined with me that day, and they all were reporting to him. So I met him. I just said hi to him, and he mentioned that, "Do you have 2 minutes for a direct for conversation?" He stopped by, and so we met. We went to meeting room. He asked me about my experience, what are my ambitions, and he told everything what is going on within the organization. That was not mandatory for him to have a quick introduction with me, to tell me everything one to one, but we get a comfort level when we talk one to one. And another point which I noted, that he was so down to earth and easily approachable by everyone. A great, it should not be the case that we refrain ourselves uh, to meet our leader. We don't have to think twice to meet him. So that what I feel, that a leader should not be the one who just give orders or assist the people. He should be friendly in nature and should be easily approachable. That what I felt, and everyone used to like him. That's, I mean, for me, I think people like him are the great leaders. That's all about me on this topic. Yeah. Back to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Yes, likability is something which helps you understand people more. Because if you're always moody, grumpy, people will refrain from talking from you because they need to protect their energy as well. So, yes, a quality of a good leader. Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy, for highlighting approachability and being friendly so that people can at least discuss their problems. Because if you don't have problems, you won't ever able to find the solution and the problem persists. We just close our eyes to it. So, thank you, Toastmaster Nancy, for such a gentle reminder that being friendly with great leadership. And we have Toastmaster Divya joined us. Okay, I'll quickly brief you about what we are doing. We are doing second round of table topics, and the topic is you can feel free to choose your own topic that you want to deliver a speech for 2 minutes. So over to you, Toastmaster Divya.
Give me some topic. It's so hard to speak without having any topic.
Okay, I am all about colors today. I don't know why. So your topic is black or white?
Uh, Again, very easy to come up with. I'm also wearing black and white. Sometimes we have just two choices to choose from, black or white, or we can call them as right or wrong, or this way or that way. There is no in between midway. So, what will most of the people choose? I will like to tell you what goes in mind while we are choosing something. In my mind, when I am about to make a choice, I will be like I'm going towards black, leaving the white completely away. However, just a one step I have moved towards black, the thoughts will start appearing in my mind. What if the white is more beautiful? What if white will be more beneficial for me? Has it ever happened to you? You keep on thinking whether you are making the right choice or not. It happens a lot with me. Okay, moving ahead, a one step further into black. Now I am being very comfortable in the black area. The surrounding is a bit more familiar. I'm happy to progress further. But minutely in my thought, there is a thing going on. White might be more beautiful. What about the people who have actually chosen the path white? Are they progressing? How they are doing? Still, the thought of going over that side is there. Though I'm kind of justified, black is nice. I have adjusted according to the black. Still going further one step, now I'm completely immersed in the black. Everything I'm doing is being surrounded by black. I'm happy, I'm trying to make the most of black. So that's what happened in a life. When you are given two choices, sometimes the thoughts come in mind whether this is right or that is right. But still, we choose to go further with our first choice and try to make the best out of it. That's how you make some of the decisions in life. Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you so much for this wonderful reminder, Toastmaster Divya, that when we make choices, we are not happy with the choice that we are made, but somewhat we feel fear of missing out on the other choices that we did not take. So let's enjoy what we have now. And if you think that the other option is, you feel free to choose the other option, but don't be in this fear of missing out zone. So thank you for that wonderful reminder. With this, we come to an end for the second round of table topics, and Toastmaster Aryan has to say something.
Yes. One thing Toastmaster they were reminded me of actually that you might have two choices and neither of them might be worse. Both of them might be equal, but just the fact that you keep switching and switching and switching is like the worst option possible. Even taking the bad option and sticking with it is better than just switching and switching and switching.
Mm.
And also, I wanted to have Toastmaster Meenakshi take her topic for the second round of table topics. And over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Okay, thank you. It's a beautiful, breezy, cool summer evening. And I'm 12-year-old. Suddenly, my parents tell me that, hey, get ready, we are going out, shopping time. Super excited, me along with my siblings. I sat on the front seat of the car without even knowing what's coming next. Everything went well. Shopping was fun, eating, and on our way back home, my father was sitting next to me driving and he started chit-chatting with my mom. A friendly, good conversation. 2 minutes in the conversation is becoming really intense. And 5 minutes in the conversation, I can safely call that they are fighting. My mom is nagging from here, did you do this? Did you do that? My father is like, no, it cannot happen. And 12-year-old me, who thought that, oh, it's a beautiful, breezy, cool evening, suddenly start to think that, is it? So, like every savior, I also am trying to calm down my parents that, hey, you can sort this out calmly. Or something like, can you please stop so that we can drive back home? And like every other Indian parents, what they are doing, they're ignoring me and still continuing the fight. Why am I sharing this? because that was one day, it wasn't very important. This is not something which is memorable, but 35-year-old me still remembers it. Because that was the day I realized that safety is silence. Fun is silence, because the moment you start talking, it can turn into a conflict very soon. And that was the day I was hiding in silence, protecting myself from conflict. But when I grew up as a child, I realized that no, I don't need any more protection. Because if I stay silent, if I don't speak up my ideas, my thoughts, the things that I'm going through, I am never going to grow. I need to speak up. Silence is safety, 12-year-old me learned, but the adult me learned that speaking up is power. Power to lead, to shape your future, and to inspire others as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that interesting session, Toastmaster Meenakshi. I think we'll bring it back to the team mode now. Thank you all for the meeting. And first, I think we should go on to the evaluation section of the meeting to have Toastmaster Meenakshi lead the section. We'll take the speech evaluation and the tag team. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aryan. So we are moving on to our evaluation section just to gauge how was the quality of meeting, how was our speeches. So very first was our prepared speech, which was rather an unprepared speech, very impromptu. So first of all, congratulations and so much thank you for to Toastmaster Anshuman for picking up it very last minute, like very, very last minute. Good job on that. First, we will talk about Toastmaster Anshuman's speech, what went right in the speech. Everything about the speech, the content, the idea, the frame, the structure, everything was very well executed considering the last minute speech. It was about giving us insight how technology, how AI, how the futuristic world can look dystopian from where we are living, but it can be a utopian world as well if we think about it, if we perceive it as a utopian world. So very good job on collaborating, on collecting thoughts, ideas, sharing your personal story about your Gear VR, how you felt when you have imagined speaking on your Gear VR, how you got feedback immediately rather than using a lot of stuff, you were able to do it in one thing, which gives a very clear impression that it is not just a speech that you're giving from some Google or content that you have seen, but from your personal experience as well, which makes the speech much more personalized and people to experience how you have lived that idea of futuristic world. So I'll keep it quick and short that what could have been done right, some recommendation. You can use a little more variety in your hand gesture. I saw that the hand gesture this or this is repeated a couple of times. For example, the hand gesture that you can use, you can show your Gear VR tool. How do you use it? Or if you are clearly using a comparison and contrast, then you can use your hand gesture much more effectively. You can describe the utopian world with one hand, paint the picture that these are the things that happen in a utopian world, and then compare with your left hand that this is how dystopian world looks like. If we keep thinking negative, this, and then people will be able to gauge when you have to describe the utopian world, take your hand gesture because you have already painted the picture on both sides, right? So these can be the example. A little bit more of vocal variety, specifically if you're stressing on something really important. Like you shared your experience about how the futuristic world, and you said something like, that was the future for me. So instead of saying that was the future for me, stress on the word that. That was future for me. Because that really gives you intensity in depth, that the experience that you were talking about. So a little bit of more intensity on things that you want to lay emphasis on, just a little bit more stress on these things. Apart from that, great speech, great use of AI tools, or the Elon Musk example, thoughts, and collective idea. It was really an amazing speech. So thank you very much. Good job on that. So next, we will move on to what else do we have? We will take timings towards the end of the section because the evaluations are timed as well. Next, we have our grammarian. Was anybody keeping a track of grammar usage?
Yes.
All right. So we have Toastmaster Aryan, who has taken a note as a grammarian. Could you please share your report?
Yes, I have an overall report for the meeting. As for the word of the day, perseverance, it was used, I believe, twice by me. I don't believe anybody else used it. And as for grammar, I saw one thing that could have been corrected, which was delivering efficient evaluations. It was delivering effective evaluations. Efficient is getting more out of the same thing, and effective is maximizing impact. So efficient is, if I have only this much, how can I get more out of it? How can I get, how can I say more in 1 minute? That is efficient. How fast can you speak in 1 minute? And effective is how much impact can you deliver in 1 minute without any, basically, consideration of time. That was one recommendation. And beside that, overall, it was a great meeting grammar wise. Didn't notice many mistakes. And that is my report. Back to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Aryan. And then we have our counter, Toastmaster Nancy. Could you please share your report?
Yeah, as an AHA counter, I could not notice any ahs, or filler words. Except me, I used ah and twice. For others, I could not find anything. So it was just great.
Right. Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. Great job done on that, reducing our filler words each passing meeting. I think that's a collective feedback that we have been getting from a couple of meetings, that very less usage of filler words. Though I'll quickly tell a couple of things as a grammarian. So the word surreal was used in a speech. The correct pronunciation of this word is surreal. Surreal. That's the correct pronunciation. And also, if you are delivering a speech which is not sponsored, then I would like people to refrain from taking brand names, because don't do unpaid promotion in your speeches. The Apple Vision Pro was used, so refrain from using that. It's just that do not promote the product until you're getting paid. And also I use a couple of repeated words like, I mean, I was paid by Apple. Okay. All right. So there are a couple of words which were repeated, like I mean, so we can lessen the usage of these words to make sure that our speech is much more effective. I see Toastmaster Divya has raised the hand. Yes, Toastmaster Divya, go ahead.
Is it not surreal? Like SURREAL. Like it's totally different I'm hearing from you.
I
Maybe
thought
I
so.
will recheck too.
Might be.
Yeah.
SURREAL, right?
Yeah, like very beautiful or
Right,
something which
right.
amazes you.
Something you can't even believe is real. I think that's what it means. Right.
Could you repeat that? What's the pronunciation?
Surreal, right?
Surreal.
Surreal.
It's actually real, but very subtle, like surreal.
Surreal, yeah.
Mm,
Surreal.
right.
So it's like the syllable stress is on R more and the rest of the words. Yeah. All right, then we will move on to our general evaluations with this. So,
Sorry to interrupt. Did we do the timing report?
we will take that in the end because the evaluations are timed as well. So, starting with the meeting timings, we started at about 10:38, 10:40. We started late. We can do a little more work on starting the meeting on time because everyone's time is valuable, precious. People are dedicating their time. So sometimes we do have the roles are picked up last minute. Maybe we can join 10 minutes earlier to sort these roles and work upon that. Okay. Then we have all the roles assigned. We had team of 6 to 7 people today. We did an amazing job in being proactive in picking up roles last minute, preparing speeches, preparing team mod roles. So really great job done on that. Then we moved on to our table topic session. It was an interesting session. However, little improvement area that whenever you are as a table topic master, whenever you are whenever you are the facilitator for the table topics, just do a little summary of the speech. Some active listening is required. Listen to the speaker's speech and summarize it in one line before you transition into another speaker's, so that it's not just that you're giving the topics and moving on to the next person. It seamlessly blended into an activity, a wholesome activity. Also, you can add more intensity when you're saying the topic, like I can't remember the topic. I think this was the topic that the best food that you have tried. So say the topic with little more intensity, add depth to it, like what was the best food that you tried? What was the best food that you tried? So that, when you are expressing the topic in such a manner, it looks more interesting rather than looking flat. Because if you add energy to the table topics itself, then it becomes more lively. Otherwise, this will just sound as a very flat topic. People will be like, oh, it sounds boring, right? So add a little more energy and intensity to it. Then, yes, table topic session was really interesting. We got to hear in the second round a lot more variety, where in second round we heard like about leadership, saying yes to more opportunities, learning from history, and how do we use language in with respect to our audiences. It should be simple and easy. And I saw guest Nalnish use rule of 3 in his speech in the table topics. And also Toastmaster Divya giving a very abstract topic and yet connecting it with reality. So great job done on table topics. So today's meeting was a perfect example how you run a show put together, even if you don't have anything prepared or pre-planned. I think that's a leadership quality that everyone today displayed. So great job done on that. A little bit of recommendation to make our meeting much more effective. We can speak to people in advance and assign a backup role as well. If this person is not available, who can take this up? And keep some T-mod, table topics, some improv ideas that in case we have to play this role, what is the topic that I can talk about? What is the theme that I can still incorporate, especially people who are joining frequently, or something that you have heard from another Toastmaster session at another club that you would like to say again in your own way. So just do repackaging, reconstructing, and the same thing will become new. So a little bit more of flavor of theme could have taken the meeting to really next level. So this is all about my general evaluation report. I hand it over now to our timer to share his report, including the evaluations. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Do we have Toastmaster Anshuman around? Okay, in case we do not have Toastmaster Anshuman around right now, I will hand it over back to our host and TM of the day, Toastmaster Aryan.
Yes, that is excellent. So, apologies because I did not have a dedicated meeting theme today. But Toastmaster Anshuman said something interesting to me in chat. He said we all have a topic, and I should speak about entrepreneurship or whatever I'm doing right now. So I found something very interesting, and I would like to take a few minutes to tell you about it because I think you might find it very inspiring. So just a few days back, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she said that she had all these goals, but she was having problems with being motivated, and she asked me what inspired me. So I showed her something. So whenever I enter a new phase of my life, I change my lock screen on my phone because it indicates something else. So recently I changed it to this. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is a huge rocket that is launching. So this is a rocket called Starship that SpaceX created. If you know SpaceX, SpaceX is the first,
Elon Musk.
yes, private company that is able to land rockets that are supposed to launch into space. So historically, for many years now, the rocket industry has been such that we spend $1 billion on a rocket, we launch it into space, and then we let it fall into the ocean, and we don't ever recover it because it's not possible. And scientists historically thought that it is not even possible to engineer such a rocket that you can land it or you can actually reuse it. But Elon Musk set the goal that we should have one rocket that can relaunch multiple times in one day. Not only does he want to save the rocket in the first place, but relaunch it, make it rapidly reusable, just like a Boeing plane or your car. So the rocket that I showed you is the rocket that they are planning to send to Mars. So this rocket is 403 feet tall, which means it is the size of a 40-story, 40-floor building, a skyscraper. And when it falls from the sky, it falls at 25,000 times the speed of sound. It falls faster than the bullet from a pistol. It falls faster than the bullet from a pistol by a few hundred times. This is a story that I found very inspiring because this is something that people thought completely, with complete certainty, is impossible. And it reminded me of one time that I read Elon Musk's biography. Some very interesting stories. I will tell you one right now. I would have told you all through the meeting, but I guess it's too late now. So the story goes that after many years of struggle, SpaceX finally has one of its first rockets and it's time to launch it. So SpaceX's headquarters is at the west side of the US and the base from where the rocket is supposed to launch is at the exact opposite side, the east side. And so what they have to do is we have to put the rocket on a ship and it usually takes 2 or 3 months to send a rocket from where it has been manufactured to where it has to launch. And that is what everybody does. Boeing, Lockheed, everybody who has ever manufactured a rocket will send it on a ship and it takes 2 months or 3 months. But SpaceX, they don't have a lot of money. They have to question every requirement and they say, no, we don't have that much time. They're paying like $10 million a month in salaries. So how can we take this as fast as possible? And they think, what if we drive it? What if we drive it there? We drive it from one corner of the US to the absolute other corner. And it turns out that highways, it is not allowed to drive such a huge thing on a highway, you'll get arrested or something. But wait, can we drive it on main roads? Maybe if we just create a circuit and we can drive it through main roads. And they think, yeah, maybe that's possible. But there's one problem. The problem is that there's telephone wires that the rocket will get stuck in. You won't be able to drive it through the roads because of that. But they established that, okay, if we do that, we'll be able to transport the rocket much faster. So what happens? One of the best rocket engineering teams that has ever been established. They create this huge pole that has basically some hook coming out of it, and so they drive the rocket through the road. And whenever a phone line is on top and it's getting stuck, somebody who's driving right in front of the rocket takes that pole, basically pushes up the wire, and they essentially take the rocket from below. So they drove all through the US with people who were in a car just in front of the rocket, essentially holding this pole, push up the wire, take out the rocket. Push up the pole, take out the wire, and take out the rocket. And that is a story that I found that I was so inspired by, that we agree to the limitations that are posed on us. That, wait, this is not possible. Nobody has done this. It is against whatever anybody else has done, and we impose limitations on ourselves of what is possible. But if you think about the stories that have happened, think about the things that people have done in the past, think about everything that people said was impossible, and you will notice that it is all happening right now. People told Alan Turing, one of the people to create the first computers, that it was not possible for something that is not human to even think. And now we have AI that is even smarter than humans. Everything that is being done today, so much of it was once deemed impossible. And that is the story I want to leave you with. And I think we have Toastmaster Anshuman back, and I'll hand over to him for the timer report as well. Toastmaster Anshuman, over to you.
I think we can keep the timer report brief, that almost all of us were on time except Toastmaster Abhijit, Toastmaster Aryan, and Toastmaster Nalnish, who crossed the 2 mark 30 barrier due to good purpose, good intent of sharing great ideas with us, but can be done within the 230 maximum mark. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aryan.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. And that brings our meeting to a close. And I guess we'll take some feedback from our guests today as well. Distinguished Toastmaster Abhijit, if you have any feedback for our meeting, I believe this is the first time you're joining, right?
Yes, Toastmaster Aryan, very much the first time. And for this particular reason, I would like to thank Toastmaster Minakshi, who extended me the invite to join your club meeting. But having said that, a great meeting in terms of me participating in table topics. Two times in a specific meeting to participate in table topics is something which normally people do not even think of. I've got that opportunity. I think all thanks to Bright Beginnings. But I think there was a bit of a confusion that may would have happened, and this is something which I would like to just share. Nothing for the club to take away as a part of to improve. I think what Toastmaster Minakshi reached out to me for was to take up a role in the club meeting for today's session, and I did reach out to our VP Ed, your Sanskar Mitra. I think he is traveling, and hence he couldn't do much in terms of the overall sharing of the agenda and all. But when he did, I didn't see my name there, so I was a bit confused as to what role exactly I'm playing for today's meeting. So that's something which I wanted to have a bit of a clarity of the role, so that what happens, it's not that it's a complaint or it's a kind of a recommendation, but when you take up a role, you know that you have allocated your time and energy into that specific meeting. And when I thought of that and that did not show up, I was a bit I wouldn't say disappointed, but I was like wondering exactly, oh, okay, is it going to come, is it going to be something different that the club is going to do today. So that's the only one thing which I would like to share. But apart from that, I think when you have members like this, where the quality of the table topic questions, the kind of change of the questions which came up, I think I was on the right track of attending the club meeting from the start till the end. But do keep me informed, Toastmaster Aryan, Toastmaster Minakshi. Saturdays are mostly times when I'm available in the morning half, and 10:30 is not a time that is not very difficult for me to attend. But having said, just about winter mornings, that's kind of taking longer times for me to wake up. But having said that, I'm mostly available to take up a role.
All right. Thank you so much for your feedback. For sure, I'll check, whatever miscommunications may have happened. That's very important for us to deal with as an EC. And it's great that you are available. So we'll keep reaching out to you for roles and speeches and whatnot. We'll be very glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining. All right. To be Toastmaster Nalnish, any reflections on the meeting, any feedback that the club might work on?
Yeah, so like everything was good and it is going very well. So suggestion will be like about the tabletop. Like might be possible that I'm wrong, but sometimes it's happened to like today I got the table topic and it I was really blank. It will be better that if we can get simultaneously two topic at the same time, so a person can choose anyone from them.
Okay.
If it's possible, like this is my suggestion. It is not like that.
Yeah, we can do that as well. We always try new things with table topics.
Yeah.
Overall, the design, though, is such that you are supposed to be in quite an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, feedback taken. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for joining, and thank you all for making this meeting a success. And let me just finish the live